Have you ever walked into a room, heard someone speak, or caught a glimpse of a scene and felt an odd shiver? I've been here before. I've lived this exact moment. You know it can't be true, yet the feeling is undeniable. This strange flicker of familiarity, at once thrilling and unsettling, is what we call déjà vu. For centuries it has puzzled scientists, inspired philosophers, and even crept into films and literature. But behind this fleeting sensation lies a window into how memory, perception, and consciousness really work. Welcome to Neuro Psycho, where we explore the fascinating crossroads between psychology, the brain, and everyday life. Today we're diving deep into the mystery of déjà vu. Why do so many of us experience it? What does it reveal about the brain's delicate balance between past and present? And could this fleeting illusion carry clues about how memory is built, how perception works, and even how our sense of reality is constructed? By the end of this episode, you'll see déjà vu not as a trivial glitch, but as a powerful key to understanding the mind itself. Déjà vu is far more common than you might think. Around 2/3 of people report experiencing it at least once. It lasts only a second or two, but its impact lingers. Part of its fascination lies in its paradox. We know logically this moment is new, yet emotionally it feels borrowed from the past. To understand why, we first need to explore the architecture of memory. Contrary to the metaphor of a video recorder, memory is not a perfect archive. Each time we recall something, we rebuild it, revising and reshaping details. Within this system, two mechanisms play a central role: familiarity, the gut sense that something feels known, and conscious recollection, the ability to retrieve the actual episode. Déjà vu seems to appear when familiarity fires without recollection. It's as though the brain says, "This is familiar," but can't provide the file to prove it. This imbalance often points to the hippocampus, a brain structure crucial for encoding memories. When it misfires, the system signals familiarity without context, creating that ghostly sense of having already lived the moment. Neuroscience suggests that during déjà vu, the hippocampus and nearby regions fall slightly out of sync, leaving us stranded between recognition and confusion. Think of it as opening a folder on your computer only to find it empty. The icon is there, but the content is missing. But memory alone doesn't explain everything. Our brains are constantly flooded with sensory information: sights, sounds, textures. Normally these streams are synchronized so that the world feels coherent. But what happens if signals arrive with just a tiny delay? Research suggests that even a fraction of a second of desynchronization between brain hemispheres or sensory pathways can create the illusion of repetition. It's like hearing an echo that convinces you you've heard the sentence before. Virtual reality experiments reinforce this. When participants explore slightly altered environments, many report déjà vu, proving just how sensitive perception is to subtle mismatches. The phenomenon becomes even more intriguing when studied in people with temporal lobe epilepsy. For them, déjà vu sometimes arises just before a seizure. Medical studies using implanted electrodes have shown that stimulating regions deep in the temporal lobe, especially the rhinal cortex, can trigger déjà vu on demand. The rhinal cortex seems to generate false familiarity signals, while the hippocampus usually corrects them. When both misfire, the sense of misplaced recognition grows stronger. These findings tell us something profound. Déjà vu is not magic, but the result of very real, very precise neural circuitry. Interestingly, even in healthy brains, temporary disruptions of these circuits can occur, particularly when we're stressed, tired, or cognitively overloaded. These fleeting disturbances may explain why déjà vu often happens during moments of fatigue, or when traveling in new environments. It's as though the brain, under pressure, slips momentarily, creating a false recognition before quickly re-establishing balance. That's why déjà vu, while strange, is usually harmless, a sign of the brain's complexity rather than its fragility. Of course, the fascination with déjà vu doesn't end with science. Writers and philosophers have long been captivated by its almost mystical quality. That brief instant when past and present blur can feel like touching a timeless dimension. Some describe it as a ripple in reality, others as evidence of hidden layers of consciousness. Even though we know scientifically it is a trick of memory and perception, it still carries a poetic weight. It reminds us that the present is never raw. It is always filtered, constructed, pieced together from past experience. Déjà vu is like the brain whispering, reality is more fragile than you think. Cinema has also embraced this mystery. Think of Tony Scott's film Déjà Vu, where Denzel Washington's character navigates a technology that allows glimpses of the past. The story dramatizes what neuroscience proposes: overlapping circuits between memory and perception, constantly blending past and present. The film resonates because it mirrors something we've all felt: the eerie prediction of knowing what will happen next, as if time itself had looped. So where does this leave us? Déjà vu is not simply a neurological glitch, nor merely a poetic metaphor. It's a reminder of the delicate choreography that sustains our sense of now. At the intersection of memory and perception, it shows us that the brain is less an archive and more an artist, reconstructing reality moment by moment. Every experience is filtered, layered, and imbued with fragments of the past. When those fragments slip out of sync, we catch a glimpse of the machinery, like seeing the backstage of consciousness for just an instant. So the next time déjà vu washes over you, don't think of it as a glitch to ignore. Think of it as a rare backstage pass to your own mind. A moment when memory and perception briefly fall out of sync, letting you glimpse how reality is built. It's a fleeting reminder that our brains are not just recording devices, but storytellers, weaving past and present into the narrative we call now. Déjà vu is strange, yes, but it's also a little gift, showing us just how mysterious and creative the human mind can be. This episode was inspired by an article published on Neuro Psycho website. If you'd like to read the full written version, the link is in the description below. If you enjoyed this dive into the neuroscience of déjà vu, don't forget to like, share your own experiences in the comments, and subscribe for more explorations of the mind and brain. For more articles, visit neuropsycho.com.